Good day, everyone. My name is Woglo, and with me once again is.
Megalomaniac, hello internets.
Hello, and here we are once again for Let's Play Star Trek Online. Um, last time we.
Set a minefield.
No, that wasn't last time. That was a few times ago. Last time we
Oh, yeah, you're
rescued
right.
two pairs of captives.
You're right. I got mixed up.
Yeah. And
Oh,
we also went and showed off the new summer event, which is
yes.
going on and is pretty neat.
Yep.
For folks that haven't started it yet and want to get the special starship that's part of it, you basically don't have any more time, so you better get started now.
Do it now. Also, as forewarning, if there's popping in the background, we're recording this on July 5th, and I live in the United States. And
And
believe
I
it or not, there
don't.
are people around here who don't realize that you're supposed to blow off the fireworks on the 4th, not the 5th. So,
You know what? I think it's just people who want to get rid of their extras.
yeah. And really, any time of year is great for blowing off small explosives.
Yeah. Anyway, we are looking for a lost ship in Romulan space. Clearly, nothing will go wrong with this.
Not at all. This is a covert mission.
It,
You gotta be subtle, so they sent us in
yeah.
our non-cloaking starships.
Well, we're not supposed to have cloaking ships.
Sure, we're not. Okay, I think I got in a little bit before you.
You know,
I'll just wait here. I'm sure they can hold out.
oh yeah, I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah, they're probably invincible anyway.
Yeah, most of the NPCs are. It's
They're like,
actually.
what's her name in Uncharted? Probably have infinite ammo grenade launchers too.
Well, we have infinite ammo
Shh,
on our torpedo launchers.
shh. I'm referencing your Uncharted Let's Play. Don't
I know.
question it.
Well, in any case, yeah, here's the person we're looking for, and they seem to be under attack by Romulans. Go figure.
Yep. And cloaking mines. Lots and lots of cloaking mines.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember if this mission had the cloak tractor beam mines when this first came out, but um, the tractor mines sort of became something that they put onto like higher level Romulan ships
Mm-hmm.
as part of a rebalance a while ago.
I think they were there when I did it, but I probably did this much more recently than you have.
Yeah, probably. I mean, and for all I know, the cloak tractor mines could have been in this mission in the first place, and then um, they added it as a normal power later. The first time I remember seeing cloaked tractor mines was when they redid the Special Task Forces, because the boss of one of them uses the tractor mines.
So we get to hail them.
They seem to have taken some technology down to the planet, but we need to,
Also, most of the senior staff.
and most of the senior staff, yeah, we need to find a way past this sensor grid, which actually has this, or actually, I think it's just a shield.
Yeah,
But
it
yeah,
looks like
here's
a
this,
planetary shield.
yeah, but here's this massive hole in the,
It's kind of a flaw in your planetary shield when there's a 10
massive
mile
gaping.
wide gap in it.
Yeah. Hey, sure, whatever. I have a feeling that there was probably something a little bit more, but whatever. We'll just take it as it is.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure you see these again in like the Romulan story or something too, because they look kind of familiar. Or it could be
These
off my rocker.
barriers?
Yeah,
Well, maybe in a different mission.
maybe.
Because this mission isn't part of the
Yeah, yeah. I
Romulan
mean, I
story.
just mean in a general sense, because
Uh,
it looks kind of familiar. I think I could just remember the first time I did this.
maybe I don't remember them offhand from a Romulan mission, but I could be mistaken.
They're gonna be waiting they're gonna be wondering how we got through their shield. Such a trippy trap.
Yeah. However, could we have gotten past this insidious and effective defense mechanism?
You know.
How cunning we are.
This also ignores the fact that apparently you can fly around it.
Oh. Yeah, it's... Well, actually
Doesn't
it may...
cover...
Well,
it might be a level of detail thing for the game. It might actually be supposed to cover the whole planet, but
well, I mean, as you fly towards it, parts of it will just straight up appear. The viewing distance on them is not that great. If you look back at it, you'll notice that most of those hexagons are kind of missing, like the ones that we had clearly seen before.
Yeah.
So,
They cheat cloaked.
Yeah. Right, so now we just need to beam on down.
We will return, and in greater numbers.
Oh, then we'd better hurry up here then.
Romulans are actually sand people.
Dun dun dun.
So we have to go rescue the scientists.
Yeah. There we go.
As you can see, I got myself a nice pair of shades.
Those are
just because I
goofy-looking
thought it would
shades.
look completely ridiculous.
Yeah, like, you didn't even color them. The default colors on those shades just look bad.
Yeah, it's. I thought I colored them actually, but I.
Oh, well,
It's weird.
maybe
Maybe
you
it didn't
did, and
stick
it
or
just
something.
colored them close
Yeah.
to the default colors. Like the default colors of the sunglasses are meant to evoke like standard mirrored sunglasses,
Mm-hmm.
except it just makes them look like untextured blobs.
Yeah,
And
it's.
for folks that have played a lot of video games that know what untextured things look like, it just looks lazy.
Mhm.
Even if it's not actually supposed to be. Like those sunglasses could have actually been a lot of work to make them look that way, but because of experiences with how untextured stuff in video games looks, it actually just looks bad and lazy.
Yeah.
But once you actually color them, they actually look really nice. Like as people saw in
I just
as
need a
people saw in
big
the video.
Texas bowler hat now. So.
Unfortunately, I don't think there's anything quite like that in the game.
Yeah,
In fact, there's very little in the
Sadly.
way of headdress.
Yeah, apparently people in the 24th century or 25th century don't wear hats anymore.
No, why would anyone wear a hat?
We'll rescue her.
Oh, rescue this guy.
We can't rescue him from bad fashion, though. Those uniforms are actually pretty dumb looking.
Yeah, here's another fellow over here. Still fighting the invisible Romulan.
I'm sure he's got the invisible Romulan covered.
Yeah.
Maybe he's fighting a ghost Romulan.
Dun dun dun.
We just saved Haley Joel Osment.
Oh, yeah, so this week, Cryptic actually did release the Scimitar 3-pack, and boy, those ships look good.
Yeah, I was really surprised at how quick that was because I'm used to Old Republic's, hey, we're going to add Cathar. A year later, they had Cathar.
Yeah, oh man, that just took forever.
Yeah. But,
Um,
yeah, Cryptic seems to be a bit faster on the uptake with those kinds of things,
yeah, Cryptic
just in
usually
general.
will like when they announce something, it is usually because they are releasing it next week.
Hmm.
They don't do a whole lot of long-term hype on things.
Yeah. Like even Neverwinter's real launch was, what, 2 weeks before it actually happened or something like that?
Yeah, about that.
Mm.
So
I
I
guess
mean, there's
Legacy of Romulus is probably the longest
yeah
thing I've
they
seen, and even that was only like 2 months.
uh, yeah actually I guess it was about that, and it was really only so long because they were well I mean they were advertising a pre-order on it.
Hmm. So this guy has apparently only been here 2 weeks,
Yeah,
something like that. Kind
he
of a long
says,
time.
yeah, but he says the rest of the crew is supposedly down here by the water.
I'll be right there. I'm just uh, acquiring things the Romulans won't be needing anymore.
Oh, of course.
It's not stealing. They're dead.
No,
Can't steal
yeah.
from the dead. Unless it's a tomb.
But yeah, the scimitars are really nice looking, and their stats actually ended up being pretty good as well. The they got a unique hangar pet, which is actually kind of cool. It's a Romulan drone, which is based on. It's also based on a ship that was in the same movie, wasn't it?
No, the drone. I want to say it was from Enterprise.
Okay, actually, that's probably correct.
Um,
Um,
I
but
don't quote me on that because I'm not an Enterprise guy, in that I've seen about 3 episodes of the show. Um, but
um,
I think I remember reading, like, looking it up, and it's them saying it was from Enterprise. Them being, I guess, Memory Alpha or something like that.
oh, yeah, probably. I mean, I'll just double check that.
Yeah.
Um, but these are apparently a less ethically bad version of them from wherever they were originally, and but the effect of them is still really neat because they instead of it being basically a standard hangar pet, what they do is they use holograms to make themselves look like an enemy ship.
Hmm.
Basically looking like a frigate class ship of whatever enemy type that you are fighting.
In other words, it's a spy.
Yeah, pretty much. And they also change the coloring of their weapons to match their weapons, even if the damage type remains the same. Because I believe they remain as disruptors, or maybe they're plasma beams. I think it's I
If
think
it's
there I think
Romulus, it
there's
should be plasma beams.
it should be plasma beams, so I thought I said disruptors. But regardless, it's still that energy type, but they will look like
Hmm.
whatever it is they're copying to better suit the ruse. And it's also really interesting, like the sort of things that they will copy, because like I mean you got things like they will like if you're fighting the Borg in the special task force missions, they will look like Borg probes, which
That
is
should totally not work.
yeah, like that probably shouldn't work the way it does, but it does, and it is so great.
Now speaking of ethical things, it still has the giant Thaleron death ray.
Yes, it does. that is the thing about the whole ship that seems really weird, because these ships are theoretically, other than the normal scimitar class variant of the 3-pack, I'm pretty sure supposed to still be the type of ship that was from the movie,
Hmm.
but the other two are meant to be like Romulan Republic variants.
Yeah.
And yeah, the fact that they are still using Thalaron weapons when there's whole storylines within the game where saying
Thalaron
that's
weapons are bad.
that's bad, like it's and like even the Romulan Republic are like straight up going, no, we don't do that. Um,
That we're
but yeah,
telling
that's
anybody.
well. So the Remans are a little bit more willing to use Thalaron weapons.
Yeah.
And that is something that we will
That'll be
see.
coming up in a bit.
That will be coming up in a little bit. But in general, they like the Romulan Republic and their Reman allies.
Yeah.
a-
It's just
as
one of
a-
those
as a
gameplay
standard-
story
yeah.
segregation things, like
Yeah, pretty much.
how there's a whole bunch of missions that are, hey, using Borg technology is bad. Then you hit level 50, and one of the first pieces of raid stuff you can get are essentially a bunch of modified Borg stuff.
Yeah. Well, like as you're basically a lot of the stuff that you're, I shouldn't say a lot of stuff, but yeah, the level 50 gear that you get from the Special Task Force reputation chain is basically Borg modified stuff.
Oh, there you are.
And in fact, hilariously, one of the store unlocks you can get from where are you going?
Looking for you.
Okay.
Haha!
So, amusingly, one of the store unlocks you can get as part of the stuff for the STF reputation is in fact Borm prosthetic arm weapons.
Yay for self-mutilation.
Yeah, like I have no idea how those things actually work because I haven't bothered to unlock any of them yet.
I'd like to think it's more
don't
like
know.
a power glove.
Like,
than, like,
I
chopping
don't
your
know
arm
if
off.
it's like I don't know if it's like an arm replacement or whether it is you wielding the arm as a club. I like to think that you are using the arm as a club, but I haven't.
That is the more hilariously stupid option, so let's assume that.
Yeah, I just have not actually unlocked any of the weapons yet. Partially because I've already got some good melee weapons, and partially because I don't use melee weapons.
I do.
So.
Oh man, I gotta have that Klingon Grapok sauce.
Oh man.
Speaking of melee weapons, medic, I've got an ailment. Perhaps you can help it by getting stabbed with this batleth.
You could have done that better.
I could have.
So they've been forcing the crew of the Noble to work on their research in adapting Borg technology.
So the exact thing we were just saying.
Yes. Let's. Okay. But it seems the Romulan fleet has just returned, so we'd better go and drive them away.
Probably.
So that we can let the Noble get out of here.
They should have named their geek ship something else. So those really ugly, ball-headed science vessels.
Yeah, those ships just look so bad. Although not quite as bad as that Federation Dreadnought from a few videos ago. Oh man, that ship looks terrible.
Yeah.
I don't even... That was apparently the design of Federation Dreadnoughts since the game came out, but I really don't remember seeing it.
Well, because you don't fight the Federation, usually.
Yeah, fair enough.
Until, essentially, Legacy of Romulus, you wouldn't have really seen it.
Well, I mean, if I was...
Klingon side.
Well, on Klingon side...
Well, maybe.
Actually, there are a lot of missions on the Klingon side where one of those show up.
So we apparently can't actually destroy this thing. I guess we just have to wait for the ship to escape.
Yeah. Is it even moving? I don't think it's moving.
It's at 0% hull and we've been blowing the heck out of it. So.
Well, no, but I mean, is the Noble moving? Because it doesn't look like it is.
No, it is not.
All right. Stop shooting at it for a little bit so we can try to get out of red alert.
Okay.
Because there was a dialogue box that popped up that instantly. All right.
Went away.
Let's try this again. Okay, here we go. All right. Now I think we. Okay, there we go. We just broke.
We
the
triggered.
scripting.
Yeah, we broke the mission.
We accidentally broke the scripting on that mission. But it's okay, we were able to recover it. Which is good because in some games something like that would be non-repairable.
Yeah. I think we already blew up the ship though, at least.
Well, I did see it
Or
stealth away.
Yeah, I could have cheated.
Yeah, I did see it cloak and run away. So we will probably still fight it in a moment.
Ah well.
Okay, there we go. Now the Noble's moving.
Yay!
But yeah,
We won't be trapped in this mission forever.
a very interesting thing that I discovered as I was actually doing the research on that ship was discovering that so there are 3 ships on the Federation side that are classified as dreadnoughts. One of which is the Jupiter-class dreadnought, which we saw in that mission. Another one is the Odyssey class, which kind of makes sense, really. And the third, which is surprising, which was actually the most surprising to me, was the Galaxy X. Because so the Galaxy X is quote-unquote canonically a alternate universe ship. It was something that showed up as part of an alternate future in in the last episode of The Next Generation, and in Star Trek Online, apparently it has actually become a actual design that was made in this timeline.
Picard saw it and was like, "Hey guys, make this.
Hey,
It's awesome."
This is probably
I don't
a pretty
know.
cool ship.
Yeah, I don't know if Picard would
I don't
actually
think
do that.
I don't think that they've actually justified why, but it at the very least it justifies why they exist for players at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember there being for a while people complaining about the canonability of that ship because of it being from an alternate future. So the fact that it actually does exist in this timeline for realsies.
The thing is
that
something in the alternate future led to that ship's creation in the first place, which doesn't necessarily rely on
it being a separate universe.
It being a separate universe.
Yeah,
because it's not like that was a timeline where something changed it in the first place. It was just
it's not
ostensibly his own future.
Yeah, it's not. It wasn't so much an alternate future like yesterday's Enterprise.
Yeah,
where like the whole timeline of the Federation changed entirely, and thus they were more militarized.
There's some huge crux of a particular event happening leading to that ship's creation, so that doesn't really bug me.
I mean, I think that there were things about that timeline that were different, but it is still logical to have assumed that ship probably could have been made had things remained quote unquote the same.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, given that it's probably just a refit, they just probably saw it as more efficient to modify the existing Galaxy classes than to make new ones.
Yeah, probably.
So yeah, it bugs me less than if, say the USS Vengeance from Into Darkness showed up or something.
I still really want them to add the JJ verse Enterprise into the game, though. If nothing else, and if they do that, I want them to have a special version of the phaser arrays that shoot the phaser
Like the pew pew
miniguns.
pew. Yeah.
Yeah, instead of it being a beam. I would really like that. All right, so now that we've saved, now that that's been 3 rescues in a row, um, we are now going to go and see what the USS Noble was actually working on. Because apparently they found a derelict Borg sphere and they were researching it, because that's always a good idea.
Totally.
And of course now it's been captured by Romulans, so yeah, why wouldn't this be a good idea?
There's absolutely no problem with any of this.
Alright, so we need to head back to Alpha Centauri.
Yes, we do. Zoom over there. But yeah. Okay. Anyway, yeah, that would be weird and couldn't be explained as anything other than video game extra skin, as opposed to the Galaxy X, which you can make an argument for.
Actually, I could see them justifying. I could actually see how Cryptic could justify making that design, because so a kind of goofy thing that's going on is that understandably people want a tier 5 version of the Constitution class.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, there has been a lot of strange blowback from the community saying, no, that's non-canon, the Connie can't be that good, when, we've got people flying around in Jem'Hadar dreadnoughts, or
yeah, that's weird.
People that have seen the character select screen for my main character can attest that my main guy, who is a liberated Borg and is tooling around the universe in his Jem'Hadar dreadnought carrier alongside a Cadian, a Jem'Hadar, another Borg, a Breen, and a Riemann. We clearly don't care that much about what probably would be happening in Starfleet. And a lot of people are kind of like that.
Yeah.
So, really,
it's like when you get the D&D party that's like an orc, a half fiend, a half dragon. I'm thinking of weird races. A Yuan-Ti and a Thrakreen.
Yeah. So, I mean, I could totally see Cryptic justifying a tier 5 Constitution refit as being a new version of the ship that has been upgraded with more modern technology,
and it just happens
to look and work like the J.J. Abrams Constitution. I think that would actually work really well, and I would totally love to see that.
It's goofy, but I can see that.
Certainly it's goofy. I mean, there are a lot of ships in this game that are probably on the goofy side.
Personally, it wouldn't bug me, but then again, it's like Tor recently announced that you're going to be able to get an Ewok bounty hunter companion. I'm like, hell yeah! That's so stupid. It's awesome.
Yeah, I was totally seeing people kind of being upset about that, and I think they're weird.
What's funny is apparently even that much is actually justified by canon, because Star Wars has like 1 billion books, one of which apparently mentioned Endor in the Old Republic era. But yeah, it's that kind of thing where it's just some people like dislike it because it's goofy, other people like it exactly because it's goofy, and I tend to be in the latter usually.
Yeah, I mean we're talking video games here. It should be fun. I mean, sure, I understand there should be a degree of groundedness, but at the same time, like you want people to be having a good time, and part of that is letting them, use things that they want to use. So yeah, like I don't know if we'll ever be able to see the JJ Connie being put into the game because Cryptic has a problem to put it one way where they can only use things that come to them from CBS
Hmm.
because they're the guys that they have negotiated the license with. So things that are outside of CBS's purview are harder for them to get. And technically, the movies are owned by Paramount, not CBS.
Yeah. So there was nothing on the Borg sphere, so we're going to blow it up.
Sounds
And
like a
we did!
plan.
Because it's always that easy to blow up a Borg ship.
Yep. In fact, that wasn't even a sphere. That was a probe.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm
I
guessing
think.
that's
I,
either
I,
it's
yeah,
supposed to represent the sphere being like blown to pieces, or it's just a model fail.
I think what it was it. I think when this mission was originally designed, it was actually a sphere because there was really only like three types of Borg ships at all:
Hmm.
the sphere, the cube, and the tactical cube. Um, and wow, that space box behind that communication satellite is glitching the hell out.
Oh, that happens to you too.
Okay,
I wasn't sure if it was just my own video card or what, or video
yeah,
settings rather.
I don't know, something weird about it.
Yeah, I noticed it happens sometimes with nebulas.
So
Hey, this
technically
one's
we're supposed,
named.
yeah, technically we're supposed to monitor that one instead of blow it up.
Fine. God, it's like I joined. They think I joined Starfleet to be an explorer or something.
No, you joined to be strong.
I joined to be strong, to make things go boom.
But anyway, we're going to follow that into another system because maybe that's where the people we're looking for are.
Because messing with Borg tech's a great idea.
It is the best idea.
Remember, kids, if you see a dragon, poke it. Poke it with a stick.
They like that really.
They do. Just like if you try to steal the treasure.
Not steal, borrow.
Yeah, sure. Well, we found a lab. Now we gotta blow its cannons up.
Yeah, because we don't want things like these shooting at our ship while we're down there rescuing dudes.
So we're gonna let it shoot our ship while before we're down there rescuing dudes.
Yeah, because our ship can't do anything if we're not actually on it.
It's true.
Yeah.
Anyone but us and perhaps our bridge crew, complete retards.
Yep.
Completely incapable of doing even the simplest of actions.
Well, they repair the ship.
Okay. Fine, maybe capable of doing the simplest of actions.
Yeah. Oof, yeah, having all cannons and using rapid fire, that's pretty great.
It is fun stuffs.
Yeah, I mean, escort play is pretty good. It's maybe like it's not quite as nuanced when you are at the lower levels, because
Nah, you gotta
you're
wait till
kind
you're
of,
set up for it, basically.
yeah, like you do need a lot of, I shouldn't say a lot, but there is specific gear that you need for it, especially depending on which style of escorting you're going to go for. But
Hmm.
generally, like their normal build is a lot of heavy cannons forward and doing strafing runs for all
Yep.
intents and purposes. And then building for movement and turn speed so that you can very quickly get to a distance away from the target, turn around, and then do the whole thing all over again.
Point ship at things you want dead. Hit fire button.
Yep, pretty much.
Wait 5 minutes. sorry. Wait like 1 minute, maybe,
or less.
Or less.
Yeah. I mean, in PvP, it's generally pretty fast, but PvP in this game is kind of a hot mess.
Yeah, I've heard people refer to it as Star Trek Escorts Online.
Well,
I've never done it, so I can't actually.
People will say a
comment,
lot
but
of
that's what people will
things.
say.
Yeah, people say a lot of things about the PvP in this game. Some of which is true, some of which is people on MMOs complaining about PvP
Everything?
or everything.
Nerf Shammy.
So I mean, I'm not totally surprised that they think that there is one build which is clearly the best. And it sometimes moves around. Like sometimes it's the escorts are the best thing ever, and sometimes they're saying it's the cruisers or the carriers. Like people were saying that when the Galaxy X first came out, it was actually the first Federation ship that had a cloaking shield, and people were up in arms saying that it was going to destroy PvP balance forever. Because, the Federation having a ship that can cloak, whereas most of the Klingon ships could cloak themselves, is totally unbalanced.
Totally.
Yep.
I imagine that people are saying the same things about the Scimitar. Given that it has the ability to fire while cloaked.
Yes, yeah, because they have the ability to do
and maintain shields while cloaked.
Yeah. Yeah, and the best thing about the maintaining shields while cloaked is that is a straight up passive effect. Whereas firing your beam weapons while cloaked, and that's also a unique thing to the Scimitar. The Klingon ships that can fire while cloaked can only fire torpedoes. Just like the one Klingon ship from the movies.
Yes.
But yeah, the Scimitar can fire all weapons, but when it does
it come with Christopher Plummer quoting Shakespeare?
Probably not.
Aww.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, when the Scimitar does it, it's first an activated ability, so it's something that needs to cool down. And I think it's got a pretty lengthy cooldown on it. And on top of that, it puts a hefty penalty on your weapons energy. When, to be honest, Romulan ships already have kind of a hefty penalty on all their energy systems.
Yeah, they're base 40 instead of base 50.
Base 50, yeah.
Because they get the nifty singularity stuff.
Yeah, pretty much. If you have a proper singularity drive equipped for them, you get between a bonus +5 to +15 energy to all your subsystems. So that kind of makes up for everything.
So, shock of all shocks, we found out that the Romulans are using Borg technology.
What?
Yeah. Now we gotta find the shipyard where they're setting it all up. Take it out. First, we gotta deal with the patrol.
Yeah. Apparently, it's on the others. Yeah, on the other side of the asteroid field.
Yeah, we could just completely ignore them, but
well, we probably could, but letting them have Borg tech probably not a good idea.
I'm at the patrol.
Oh, the patrols? Oh yeah, we could probably ignore them too.
No, I want the Borg tech for myself. I mean, it's immoral to use such horrible technology and stuff.
Yeah.
Look, use what you got, man. So I said we could ignore the patrols. We're not going to.
No, of course not. first off, it's one of the mission objectives. We need to blow them up.
Second off, they're XP waiting to happen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can repair your shields. Here, have repaired shields.
Yeah, helping my shields would be a little nice, because they are a little flimsy.
So if we let's play another MMO, I should totally be the healer class. I'm best at it.
Yeah, the way things are going, that may not that may not end up being the case. Just saying.
Actually, in other MMOs, I actually am a pretty good whatever role it is. It's just for whatever reason, this game I kind of have a hard time wrapping my head around like what I'm supposed to be doing.
Part of the thing is that
kind of
Star Trek Online. Yeah, Star Trek Online has never really had the concept of the Trinity. I mean, it has it in a very rough sense. In a rough sense, escorts are your DPS. In a rough sense, cruisers are a tank. In a very rough sense, science vessels are support. Engineers are focused more on healing hull damage, and scientists are more focused on healing shield damage.
Yeah.
And of course, tacticals are focused on dealing lots of damage. In practice,
the type of thing where you could easily end up as a tactical captain without damage. Well, that's more hard, but you could easily end up as a science captain without healing abilities.
Yeah. So and really, like, none of the if you are a science captain, you actually in fact, you don't get any healing abilities at all natively. The only abilities you get are actually debuffs. But the science bridge officer abilities do include a variety of hull and shield heals.
Yeah.
Many of those shield heals affect both you and allied units. So a science vessel that's focused on using its science bridge officer slots can set themselves up as either an exotic damage dealer, so they would be using a lot of the.
That's kind of what I'm going for.
They'd be using
more on my Romulan science captain, but this one too.
Yeah. It's like so they can start using all the funny.
Tychon's Rift,
Tychon's Rift, Gravity Well, abilities like that, Tachyon Beam, abilities like that, or they can set themselves up to deal, to do debuffs, or team buffing, or heals. Also, here this guy actually specifically talks about Nero and the fact that his ship was Borg modified.
Yes. Which is something you'd know if you read the comic that came out before the movie and tied into it. Which everybody who saw that movie did, I'm sure.
Yeah, of course.
And then he escapes because he's a jerk.
Yeah. What a jerk.
He's a cheating computer bastard.
But now some of them feel that they can challenge us.
Sure.
Well, we'll let them think that for a little bit.
No, we won't.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I mentioned it a few episodes ago, but yeah, when I was playing my Romulan character and trying out one of the ships that had primarily a lot of science bridge officer slots, I was playing around and seeing like a lot of the different science powers you can get, and like for the 3+ years that this game's been running, I've been mostly running a defensive build that's been very heavy on engineer and a few science abilities for recovery, and like a few pieces of tactical here and there for damage dealing.
Yeah.
Um, but for the most part, I've always played a defensive build, even when I was leveling up as an escort captain, and it was actually very interesting to play. Um, to do that exotic damage stuff.
Yeah, I found it a lot of fun personally.
It is pretty neat, and I may play play around with that a little bit more later on in this series when we get to the other factions. With that, uh, yeah, I want that shield array.
I went with covariant.
Yeah, covariant is nice because it does give you the highest pure shield rating, but
Hmm.
I really like resistant because instead of it being 10% bleed through, it's only 5% bleed through and 5% purely negated.
Hmm. Also handy.
Yeah, it's pretty handy. It's kind of the lower. I think of the four variants of shield arrays, it is the lowest maximum capacity. But
Hmm.
the fact that it has just straight up negation built into it is very, very handy.
So
But
next
yeah.
time, or are we doing this now?
Uh, no, we'll save that for next time.
Okay.
We're just about running into 50 minutes here.
Yeah.
Um,
Next time we get to answer the question of how a star goes supernova and takes out a whole star system.
oh, is that in the next one?
I think so. We're in
Oh,
the
yes.
Nova
So it
system.
yeah. So it is. Nice. No, actually, that one is actually much further down, I
Oh,
think.
fine.
Yeah.
Make me tease the audience.
Well, I could be misremembering what that mission I was just referring to is. But so,
Well, eventually we will learn that.
yeah, eventually we will actually see there is actually a mission that will show what
Oh yeah, that's
caused.
Terrace. That's in like
Yeah, that's 4 episodes,
2 weeks.
2 weeks,
Two
yeah,
weeks,
2-ish weeks from now.
probably.
But yeah, so with that then, I will thank you all for watching, and we'll see you all next time.
Bye, everybody.